but ultimately, it's just a game. And ultimately, there's so much that happens in our life that we feel like this is everything. But how we have to fight to keep perspective. There's only 2 rooms in our home that I have really any say-so, because my wife wants to do the rest. One of those is our gym in our garage, and the second one is in our TV room, which I love to watch sports and games. But you know, it's also a room that is so easy for me to walk into and totally lose perspective, especially if we have another losing record. That's not funny. So, and I know I say that sort of in jest and kidding, but I actually really mean it. It's so easy for me to walk in that TV room and watch a game and walk out frustrated, where actually I'm a different person. And so I thought I have to do something that can help remind me to give me perspective. So I literally have a portrait right when you walk in to our TV room that sits literally right there. Now, you cannot walk by it and not see it on the way in or on the way out. That portrait helps remind me of what really matters. You see, it's a portrait of an amazing, sweet boy that I had the chance to get to know and care for and support, that was born in Haiti. And he was born with special needs. And one day, this boy gets sick. And our team and partners rush him to the hospital. And when he gets to the hospital, they said, "Nah, we won't take you. Because you're less than, you're insignificant. You're a curse, you're a throwaway." So by the time that we were able to get him to another hospital, this sweet boy with one of the most beautiful smiles you will ever see died. And so I have a portrait of this boy every time I walk in there, so it reminds me of what actually really matters. To fight to keep perspective so that we can see through sometimes what's all around us, but to actually what really matters. When I was at the University of Florida, we were fortunate to have a lot of success. Freshman year, we won a national championship. Sophomore year, was blessed to win the Heisman. Junior year, we won another national championship. And senior year, our goal was to win 3 out of 4 and be one of the best to ever do it. Very few teams have won 3 out of 4, and that was our goal. The number 1 team in the country the entire year. We get to the SEC championship game, 12-0, undefeated, number 1 team, and we lose to Alabama. And obviously, I took it hard, but it was more than just being disappointed at a loss. I would go as far as to say that I think it changed a little bit of who I was. Because even though I probably would have told you if we had a conversation, oh, it's just a game. But in my heart, it was part of my identity. And the next weekend, we had to come right here to Orlando, Florida for the Home Depot Awards. And the night before the red carpet and the award show, we had to go to a banquet. And my table is right near the front, right here. And I'm sitting here, and they're bringing up the Alabama players and the Texas players because they're going to play in the national championship. And I'm just watching. It's like ready to puke. Sort of true. And a waitress comes and she taps me on the shoulder. And she says, hey, Timmy, I'm so sorry to bother you. They literally told us, don't bother you. It's okay. What is it? She said, no, I'm so sorry. Is it okay? I said, yeah, no, it's fine. Please tell me. She said, Timmy, there's a girl who's standing outside with her family. And I don't know what all's going on, but she has some severe illnesses that she's fighting. And she didn't really even know how to word it to me. She just knew that she's hurting. She's in trouble. Would you want to go see her? And I said, of course. So I stand up and I'm walking to the back of the room, and honestly, I was kind of grateful just to not have to watch that. I walked to the back of the room, and they opened the doors, and in comes walking this young girl named Kelly Fawnin. And her parents are right behind her, and her sister's right beside her. And Kelly has had to fight brain tumors, tremors, so many things her entire life. And Kelly is one of the most courageous girls I've ever met. But every step that Kelly takes is not easy. It's hard. Every step she tries to take, she shakes, and she focuses on just getting that foot stable enough to take the next step. And I see her, and she's walking to me, and she's so excited to see me that she's trying to speed up. And every time she tries to take the next step, she almost falls. And so I kind of rush to get to Kelly as fast as I can. And right when I get to her, Kelly throws her arms around me, and she just squeezes me. And I mean, she's holding me tight. And she just keeps squeezing, hugging. Probably for a minute or so, honestly. And then Kelly starts crying. And I couldn't help it, I started crying. And her parents were right behind her, and they started crying. And my parents actually got up and followed me out. They started crying. No one's even said a word yet. And then finally, Kelly lets go. And we start talking. I start hearing about her story. What an inspiration she is. And it just radically impacted me. And I asked her if she would be willing to be my date the next night for the red carpet and the award ceremony. And thankfully she said yes. And so the next morning, my uncle took her and her family and her sister to one of the stores here in Orlando to get her a nice dress so she could be the belle of the ball. And then we all went to dinner early, and oh my gosh, it was just one of the most fun dinners. It was incredible. We were laughing, like this time we were laughing until we were crying, but in a good way. And then we get back in the cars and we drive up to the red carpet, and I walked down the red carpet with Kelly, and it's just the best night. I mean, I'm telling you, it was so much fun. The whole crowd was going crazy, and they were cheering for Kelly, and the joy on her face was priceless. And we get into the award ceremony, and my seat is literally row 1, seat A. Hers is right beside me. Her parents are a couple of seats over, and my parents are sitting right behind me. Then the award show starts. And it's where they give out the majority of the awards for college football, besides the Heisman and very few. But they give out the majority of the awards this night. And I think it was the most awards I had ever been up for in one night. I think it was 6 awards. And they announced the first award, and I lose. And I was like, okay, I mean, it sings a little bit, but honestly, not a big deal. Tonight's about Kelly. No big deal. It's all good. Then I lose the second award. All right, it sings a little bit more, but honestly, it's totally about Kelly. And then they announce the third award, and I lose. And now it's hurting a little bit more. Then they announce the fourth award. And yeah, I lost that one too. And then they announce the 5th award, and I lose that one too. And all of the emotions and the disappointment and the pain and the frustration is all rushing back. And they're getting ready to announce the 6th award, and my mom's sitting right behind me. She knows that I'm so frustrated. And as they're getting ready to announce this last award, my mom leans forward and she whispers in my ear,